All righty, here we go. Mustang fans, welcome to the Pony Hoops Insight, episode 1. Today, we are bringing a podcast to you to talk about SMU basketball, the history, the current, the present. We'll be bringing on former players, introducing current players, just bringing the community, the fans, and the whole SMU basketball community and culture back together through voice, through connection, and relationships. So I want to start off by introducing our co-hosts. I want to introduce myself. I'm Jarrey Foster, former SMU basketball player from 2015 to 2019. Done a lot of great things. Just got done playing in Portland in the NBA G League. Had a great career at SMU, and just thankful for the fans, my teammates, and all of the activities and the things that went on in Dallas and how it's a second home for me. So as we move forward, I want to introduce our co-hosts. First, this is my guy, two-time All-American Conference Player of the Year. One of the best point guards that I played with, best point guards come out of SMU. Just got inducted to the Hall of Fame at SMU Athletics. I want to introduce Nick Moore. Bring him to the stage. What's up, my guy?
What's up, big dog? How you doing, man?
Man, we cool, man. I'm glad you're here. Glad we're doing this. Big part of what we're doing, man. So just say hello to the fans a little bit.
How you doing, Pony fans? I'm excited to be here and start this new journey with you guys, just to be talking about basketball, man, something that we all love. So I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Sounds good. Next, we're going to bring up, this is OG, man. Man, really held it down at SMU. Been on both sides of the column with SMU, seen everything grow. Really taught us a lot, taught me a lot just about the game. Highly touted player coming out of high school, Duncanville. You know how I feel about Duncanville, but we'll get there. It's all love, man. Highly touted player, man. Went to SMU, University of Texas first. Ended up at SMU, played 4 years, and went on to be a graduate assistant at SMU. Now coaching in high school basketball, head coach. I want to bring on my guy, Shawn Williams. Say what's up, Shawn.
Hey, man. Thank y'all for having me. It's a full circle moment for me seeing you, Jarrey, and you, Nick. You know, y'all was younger than me, but I'm really proud of you guys and all the stuff you accomplished. So, man, let's do this and let's have a lot of fun with this because I'm really excited about it.
No, that's easy. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, we just want to make this a home environment. Obviously, we know each other. We spent a lot of time with each other, but we want to bring everybody else into the culture and the experience we felt. So a lot of winning moments, Moody Magic. We want to express that and bring that back and also show love to the current staff and the current players. So that's really what the podcast is about, man, just really bringing that culture together. But to really set the tone for this episode, it's really just to introduce ourselves, tell us about what we're doing now in life, break down the game, SMU versus Butler. We'll get into that next. But if y'all have anything y'all want to say before we break down the game, the floor is yours.
Man, talking about Shawn, talking about this is a full circle, seeing me and you, man. I just want to say thank you for being a vet that we looked up to, that showed us the right way, you know what I'm saying, that taught us how to, you know what I mean, maneuver around campus, you know what I mean, what practice was about, what hard work meant, you know what I'm saying, and being dedicated. So, you was a big part of that too, Shawn, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all always remember, you know, Coach Brown always used to say, man, do it for the seniors every time, every practice, every game, man, do that shit for the seniors. And I feel like that kind of sunk in my heart a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because you put the time before us, and you also led us the right way to be able to do that. And that was an easy thing, is to do it for you, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you in that aspect, big dog.
Well, don't make me cry on the first episode,
hey,
man.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, you say, hey, y'all say you want to be family.
And that's real words, man. And if, you know, I look up to both of y'all, you know, even though I'm taller than both of y'all. Nick, I'm way taller than you. But I look up to both of y'all.
I'm borderline classified as a midget, you know what I'm saying?
But the one thing I want to say before we start is, shout out to Rhett Lashley and the football team. I know we're a basketball podcast, but man, y'all keep winning. Y'all giving me December 7th. If we make it to the championship game, I'm going to be there. Me and my wife will be there. So, man, SMU football, keep doing it big, and Dre, lead us to the basketball.
Man, you already know it. But before we get there, man, we got to say thank you to SMU Athletics, Rick Hart, the athletic director, all of the staff, the administration, the donors, David Miller. Thank you for everything that you do for us in the program. All of the donors, how do we all come together? We wouldn't be able to do what we did without the support of the fans, the community, former classmates. So just want to say thank you to everybody that made this podcast work. The 1911 group, appreciate you. We had a great panel last week. Great opportunities and great situations that's going on, Billy and Mitch. So yeah, let's move on, man. Let's break down the game. Yeah, so SMU 3-0 before going into Butler on Friday. First road game, first road test. Nick, do you have any initial thoughts about just road games, what the players might have been feeling, or just what the expectations were going into that game?
Well, man, first of all, man, they was going back to the crib, and I wanted them to smack up on Butler. You know what I'm saying? So I could have something to talk about, but that's on another story. But just being road games, you know what I'm saying? Like taking that travel time serious. You know what I mean? It all starts before you get on that bus to hit that plane, and you know what I mean, making sure that you in the hotel getting proper sleep, and you know what I mean, prepping yourself, reading through scout reports and whatnot. But as far as the game goes, just understanding that all eyes are against you. You know what I'm saying? You have about 15 guys and about 6 coaches that's only there for you. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to dictate the tempo in each possession. I feel like that was a big part that was kind of my job when I was playing, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to mold the tempo of the game, how it was going to be played, you know what I'm saying, depending on our opponent.
So how do you, I'm going to follow up with you on that real quick. How do you feel like the tandem of Boopie Miller and Chuck Harris is playing out this year in comparison to the Butler game at the point guard and guard perspective?
See, at the point guard position, I feel like they was, you know what I mean? Like they do a great job. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But I just felt like they were playing like if it was a home game. So it was just kind of like doing just the same flow. Like nothing has changed from a home game to a road game, to where on the road, man, like every possession counts, because you already know referees are in that home gym. It goes down to everything. The fans, you know what I'm saying? The home team's energy, and you're just trying to suck all that out of the building, right? So, you know, like that first 7 minutes, 10 minutes of the game is real crucial to let a team know, like, hey, we in here to control everything.
That's understood, man. And setting the tone is the main thing. And that's one thing that SMU basketball is known for. And these players have the potential to bring that out every night. So it's just about keeping that awareness. So Shawn, with the players having that awareness of like attacking the game, setting the tone from a head coach's perspective, how do you communicate that? How do you manage, you know what I'm saying, not only your players, but in a situation like that, playing on the road at Butler early in the season?
Well, first, man, I want to say, you know, Coach Enfield, the fact that they're willing to play a road game at at Butler, who's a storied program that, you know, that I kudos to him for taking that challenge. And in college basketball, high school basketball, NBA, man, to win on the road is always tough. It is always tough. So I think the mentally being locked in, understanding, like Nick said, every possession matters. But on the road, the way you win is to get stops. And defense will carry you on the road, because, like Larry Brown used to say, to win the game, when your shot's not falling, when you might not have the best referees, you know, the refs against you, but if you win, the way you win is to get stops. And I'm not discouraged or anything from what I've seen in the Butler game. I'm actually encouraged, because I think it's a long road ahead. The fact we get these lessons early and understanding how to overcome, understanding what's to come when we go in the ACC on the road. I actually think SMU basketball is in a good spot, so I'm really proud of the guys. The only thing that I can probably say that, and it might be an anomaly, I really think BJ Edwards is a really good basketball player. You know, I think he has a really good future, and I think he struggled against Butler, but I don't think there's any reason to concern. But I think that's an anomaly. But I'm really excited to see as they fix the issues, because I really believe in this coaching staff. I really believe in the players. So for me, the Butler game, you know, throw it away. We took a loss. Let's learn from it, and let's figure out a way to get better.
And speaking of
Exactly.
DJ too, though, I'm excited for Quando too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just feel like, it's still early in the season, and I'm kind of glad that they took this loss, like Shawn said, because what I mean, it humbles yourself, but just let you know, like, hey, we got some things to work on too, especially going to the ACC. You know what I mean? And everybody's excited about that. So I mean, I feel like once he kind of gets his flow and his understanding of the team and his role, I feel like we're gonna see him. You know what I mean? Just
So
nothing
Nick,
but
that
going
brings me
up.
to a point. I don't know if you remember, it might have been your junior year, and I was GA, so it was your junior year, and we went to Gonzaga, and we took a beating.
Hey, I remember that like it was yesterday, dog. We damn near lost by like 30.
It was like a 30-point beating, but that helped us prepare, so we won the American Youth Player of the Year, and so like all these early road games only prepare you to be better in the future.
Yeah.
So
And that
kind of reminds me of that Gonzaga game.
Because like the staff that's here now with Coach Enfield, they're mature enough and been in situations, many different seasons where a loss like this isn't going to carry on throughout the season. They're going to take it, learn from it, and then add whatever they need to add. And that's what I wanted to say too, is like when it comes to just like the lineup, you could tell the big fella, like he just came in a couple games ago. So that's obviously going to change the pace of the game, the flow of the game, and kind of put players. So everybody's gelling together. Everybody's putting their place in, and also finding their niche on this team. So it's an exciting time. So you just got to kind of fill it out. But
no, they're gonna go back to the drawing board. You already know Coach Enfield. He gonna have something. He gonna have the answer next game, or if they see something like Butler again, he gonna have the answer for it.
Exactly.
And that's great learning lessons right now. It's great learning.
And see, like as I got older, man, losses now to me is just lessons, bro. They gonna learn from this. So it's like next time I go around, they gonna understand what they need to do to overcome that adversity and you know what I mean, and win a tough road game. Because like Shawn said, man, winning on the road, bro, if you win by 1 point, bro, that's a big win.
That's a big win.
You know what I mean? Like that's a big win, right? Yep. Even 8 points, you know what I mean? 8 points is really is like 20 points at the crib. You know what I mean?
You gotta be like, 10 points better on the road to get a win. And that's kind of what we gotta be 10 points better because the road, a lot of variables happen. So if you gotta be 10 points better to get that win.
Man. Right. No, y'all are speaking right on the tune, and that's more just like the external. But when you break down the internal of the game, when it comes to X and O's, and this is where we have an opportunity to really connect with the fans when it comes to analytical standpoint. That's the beautiful part of the basketball game. It's like when you break down the numbers, it always makes sense. And these are all things that make sense. But we shot 5 of 15 from the three, and they ended up shooting 12 of 26. So being able to make that many threes out-rebounded us, or actually we out-rebounded them by 1 point, by 1 rebound, but they had 12 assists on 25 makes. So it's just, when you spread the game, it's more about how their shots came. So when you break down the analytics of the game, you can see they make 12 threes, but when did those threes come in the game, and what was the score, what was the time, what was the possession, and what lineups were on the floor. And most of their threes came, and Nick, you can attest to this, and when it comes to X's and O's, ball screen to ball screen, same size guard, like communication, how big is communication on the floor when it comes to playing on the road? It's loud, you know what I'm saying? Like communicating between each other.
I mean, communication is everything, really. Just like Shawn said, you trying to get stopped. So if you're not communicating on what you're going to do on defense, you know what I mean? You guys know how it is. We have a million calls for different things. So, you know what I mean? You got ice if we try to, you know what I mean? Or some people call it blue when you trying to send that ball screen on the wing towards the baseline. You know what I mean? If you're not communicating that, maybe the guard doesn't turn his feet to be able to push him that direction, or maybe he does without hearing it, thinking that the big is going to be there. Then all of a sudden you have to rotate. Depending on how you rotate, right? It could be you just trying to X out. You could be trying to full rotate. But whatever you're trying to do, you're always playing catch up now, right? They're playing against bad closeouts, rotations. So now they have the upper hand, and they're seeing the vision to where now they are picking us apart just for that one communication. You know what I mean? That one thing that you were supposed to verbally communicate didn't happen. So now that's when I feel like these easy threes are coming in because, you know what I mean, we were starting to scramble around trying to find the next correct rotation.
Right on. Man, Shawn, you have anything to follow up with that when it
so
comes to
one thing I remember, and then me as a head coach now, I try to beat it into my players' head. Jank used to always say this: great teams are always communicating and pointing. If you look at great teams in the NBA, you look at great teams in college, no matter what it is, they're always pointing, they're always communicating. And so like what a lot of my kids and high schoolers don't understand, that 2 seconds that you don't communicate could be the difference between you getting the stop and not getting the stop. So like Nick said, great teams are going to move the ball and attack the closeout. If you don't communicate that one time, it's only one time, but that one time leads to a bucket. Great teams are always pointing, always communicating. I think for us, in the Butler game, I think we did a good job, but a good job ain't good enough on the road. You got to do a great job. You know what I'm saying? You're saying you got to say the people are against you. You got the home crowd. So being communicating, Jank used to always say early and loud.
Early and loud. And I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know if y'all remember the saying. They always used to say the first person to talk always right too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got it. Like even though the game plan might be, hey, we're icing ball screens, but just if you communicated that we, you know what I mean, like I was pushing it to the middle.
Right.
Like at least we communicated.
Exactly.
So it's like, it wasn't towards the game plan, but at least y'all did your thing with communicating and y'all was on the same page.
Early and loud.
And that's the bridge, that synergy right there between the brotherhood and the five. And this is what we were talking about a little bit before the call, was just the brotherhood of SMU, the culture of SMU is for us, the five, not only the five on the court, but the whole team. But in order to win the game, the five on the court must come together. And if one person says, this is how it's going, this is how the ball screen is going, this is how all five of us are playing it, not just the two on the ball screen. So that's how we want to spread this culture with this team, with this staff, with the history of SMU, let alone this Butler game. Still so excited about the season. And this is just the most exciting part, to see how you can learn and how you can get better. But for us to be able to turn behaviors, turn different actions and things that we do on the court and see how it can work out from an analytical standpoint, because when you're scrambling consistently around the game, that's when you have runs. And that's when Butler went on a run from the 11-minute mark to the 8-minute mark on about an 18-4 run. So the communication, the setting the tone, the brotherhood, the culture of coming together must be a conscious effort in order to win on the road. So,
and then going off of you talking about, like, it's a game of runs, right? But then we also got to know how we gonna stop that game of runs, right? Is it a timeout? Are we gonna get to our best play?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Something to where we can quiet that crowd at, because you guys already know that crowd get behind the team and you on the road, it's hard to come back from.
Yep, exactly.
So, I mean, one thing I always say, and Nick, you did a really good job of this when you played, is great leaders, and most of the time you want your point guard to be the best leader. When teams are going on a run, let's say a 6-point run, an 8-point run, great leaders and great point guards know this next possession down, we got to make sure we go to our best play, make sure we go to get a stop or whatever it is, but we need to know the way we're going to stop this run is to go to our most efficient play or our most efficient player or whatever it is. We just can't let it keep going, or if I got to communicate, or if I got to get in somebody's butt or whatever I got to do. Now we got to, great players have a sense of when to stop the run or when to try to stop the run.
Correct. Yep. And I think what really was working for SMU, and Yugotolu, big fella, like single side ball screens where Yugotolu has space on that short corner to kind of roll, get to the rim quick, maybe turn it into a post up, turn pivot back into a post up, just kind of working that. But I love how Coach Enfield, when they do get into half court, I love the fact that we run, number one. But I also love the fact when we do get in half court, the actions, there's many different cross actions going on where everybody on the court is active. Somebody's always doing something that gives everybody an opportunity. From a big perspective, Shawn, like, and Keon, even Traore, his just the kind of the forwards and the bigs, like how how good does it feel to be a part of the game? Because bigs can be forgotten about a little bit and only rebound and only touch the ball around the rim. How do we keep our bigs and our forwards active in the game?
And we talked about this before we even started, man. I think great teams, and I was fortunate enough when I was at SMU to play on a great team, is that accepting your role. Like for me, man, I averaged 3 points a game, but I started because I accepted my role. I played defense, I hedged on the screens, I was in the right spot. And so I think once everybody, and it's such a great feeling, like, so, and even nowadays, I feel like it should be better because, dog, these cats is getting paid NIL, even if they scoring 40 or not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It should be easier for you to accept your role in a play because, hey, you're getting paid basically to do it. But great teams.
That's your job.
That's your job, basically.
You know what I'm saying?
So great teams, man, accepting role. And for a big guy, if you're not primarily an offensive guy, man, make sure you in the right spot on defense. Make sure you setting good screens. Make sure you boxing out. Make sure you're doing all the little things because all three of us know the little things are what equates to winning. It ain't necessarily scoring 30 or 40 points as a player, but it's being in the right spot, communicating with your teammates, boxing out. And I really believe the guys that SMU currently has, they can do that. And I'm really excited to see in the future just them grow to accept that. But like I said, man, why won't you accept your role now? You get paid to accept it.
Hey, one thing too, talking about them bigs, man, I'm excited because think of big fella, bro. He's only been in the States for about a week.
Right. Yeah.
And already played 3 college basketball games.
Right.
And y'all know from the game from overseas to the States or from the States and going overseas, it's a little different, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So wait till big fella just gets comfortable because Dre, I love the point that you were just saying, hey, when we was flown into our offense and we had that open ball screen, right? When you don't have corner field for the people, that's the one side, right?
Yep.
But you can see, man, when Boopy coming off that screen with him and he's either throwing it high so he can go get it because he's 7'2", or if people's hands were high, he would dump it down to him. And Big Boy got pretty good hands, right?
Yeah.
But now I feel like, man, he's gonna elevate in his game once he starts to understand the American rotations to where once he gets to know that next pass, he gonna be unstoppable with guard, bro, because he's a giant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So now and be able to.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like once he said, okay, I can't get to the rim to dunk on all these fools, well, then I'm going to skip it out. You know what I'm saying? So then we got open threes. So now them threes, it's a walk-in for BJ. It's a walk-in for Chuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For all the shooters. You know what I'm saying? For Matt. You get what I'm saying? So now that even elevates the offensive side a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But like you saying, like you just asked Shawn, I feel like it's on the guards too to make sure that your bigs – feel like they're involved also. You feel me?
Yep.
So
I think the tandem of like being able to like come into SMU, see what you were able to do, Nick, and make everybody feel involved. But at the same time, we also knew players have to take over the game and players have to play that role and kind of just put the team on their back. And you did such a great job of that. So that gave us a platform to really like know where our role was, place ourselves where we needed to be, and do everything we needed to do. But yeah, I think, man, just from an outline, great game from our players, from our staff. I think it's just a road test. You learn from it and you see it as a win because you got something to go into the next game. So, and to speak about the next game, we have Prairie View coming into Moody Coliseum tomorrow at 7 p.m. We have Anderson averaging 21 points per game. He's also averaging 5.3 rebounds per game. And Horton Jr. is averaging 3.7 assists per game. So it seems like they have a unique scorer on their team, coached by Byron Smith, down here in Prairie View outside of Houston. So they'll be coming up to Moody. They just lost to Jackson State and Texas Southern. So they're on a 2-loss streak. So I'm sure they're coming in for a win. And these are some of these trap games and some of these games that, you know what I'm saying, coming off a road loss, you know what I'm saying, want to come back home, think you got Prairie View coming in. And I think it's just a bounce back game, but you got to be on your P's and Q's. Can any of y'all follow up on just what the perspective should be, what the perspective is going into games like this and what a quote unquote trap game could be?
So first I want to give a shout out to Prairie View because Byron Smith, I've been knowing him for a long time. Houston native, people don't. He coached DeAndre Jordan at AAU when I was coming up, so he was an AAU coach and made it all the way to be a college head coach. But no, so these games are always tough. But I mean, if we're being real, SMU should get the win. But now it's just about getting better. It's about fixing things. We messed up in the last game, whether it was rotation, whether it was being in the right spot, whether it was executing on offense. This is a time for us to regroup. We should win. It's a 95% chance we should win. You still got to play the game, but we're all about getting better. And I think Coach Enfield will relay that to the guys. But tomorrow, man, get better. We didn't do this good last time, so let's make sure we do it right this time.
Man, I always remember you. I always remember these games. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see a team on the schedule that you know that you should beat in the back of your mind, right? Those were always the hardest games because, man, they geeked up to come into SMU in the Moody Coliseum. You know what I'm saying? Like they are not scared of SMU. You know what I mean? Like people got to realize that, man, we've had a target on our back for a long time. Like people want to come into SMU and beat up on SMU. And now that we're going to the ACC, you know what I'm saying? They want to make a name for themselves too. But like Shawn said, like this is a game we should win, but it's going to be a game about X and O's and doing the right thing every possession. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just playing for each other. But man, I remember when we played Brown University at home. In my mind, I'm like, Brown University, bro, it's all academics. Them boys don't know how to play ball. Man, sure enough, bro, they came in here ready to play some ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think like game to game, man, you got to respect your opponent regardless of the name. You know what I mean? Like you tie your shoes just like he ties his shoe. And
funny story. Funny story.
Go ahead.
In my mat, so I played for LB for 2 years. And when I first got to SMU, I played for Matt Doherty for 1 year. My first year at SMU was under Matt Doherty, and we lost to Jackson State. So it is not. And my first ever game I played at SMU was against Jackson State. And actually we played in Dallas, Ellis Davis, played at High School Stadium, and we lost. So it's not a foregone conclusion that it's going to be a win tomorrow. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to work.
Exactly. Yep. And just like you said, just staying on the P's and Q's and just being able to just play good basketball and continue to play for each other, but also protect the home court, Moody Coliseum. But so excited for this team, man. I'm so excited for this Pony Hoops Insight podcast. I'm excited to connect the dots, build the bridge between former players, current players, coaching staffs, the community, and really just talk real basketball and really just want to support each other, support the players as best as possible, and support the school and do all we can. But I think this is big, man, what we're doing, what we're talking about. But really just want to give our fans an opportunity to learn a little bit more about us and what we're doing. Shawn, can you break more down about what you're doing and where you are and what you got going? And then Nick, you can follow up after.
No, right now I'm a head coach at Prosper Rock Hill. School's been open for going on its 5th year. Been a head coach for 5 years. It's been cool seeing the growth of 15 to 18-year-olds. Now it's a lot of headaches too. Doing it, but no, I've enjoyed my time. I'm married with 2 kids now. My daughters are 10 and 8. Kind of hard being the only male in the household, but other than that, I'm well.
Understood. Nick?
I'm doing the same thing as Shawn, man. I'm teaching up here in Melissa High School, teaching kinesiology and assistant varsity coach. And I mean, man, just to give the knowledge back to this generation, to share with them the things that we learned at a later age in life. You know what I mean? Just like Shawn said, man, that's a headache because these kids, you know what I mean, they have a hard time trying to understand that we want the best for them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But I wouldn't change what I do, man. I love being around the kids. I love basketball, bro. That's the first things first. You know what I'm saying? I love doing this. You know what I mean? Like you said, the opportunity to SMU allow us to come back here and have a platform to talk about basketball, about SMU basketball specifically. But, I mean, just to be a part of it, man. And I don't think we would be able to be where our feet are at right now if we didn't go to SMU. You know what I mean? So just the love that they show us and the respect that they have for us to allow us to still be involved. You know what I mean? But like Shawn said, man, I'm married. Everybody know my wife, Shell. And then I got 3 kids. I got Landon, he's about to be 6. And then I got twins, boy, girl, Sadie, and then Carter. And my boys, man, they run laps around me, man. They keep me going. My mom's like, you get a taste of your own medicine, and I'm starting to feel it. You know what I mean?
That's the family, man.
But,
that's the family.
Man, I wouldn't change it for the world, bro. And y'all know that Michelle, she's a trooper, and she's the reason why I'm me. And y'all, like I said, bro, I'll say that till I die. Y'all are the reason why I'm me. But I'm just grateful, bro. I'm grateful.
Man, that's sweet, man. It's good just seeing y'all grow, man, and learning from y'all. But yeah, I'm here in Houston, Texas. The past few months, I've been finishing my master's program, developing programs, basically on my basketball experience. Tore my ACL 4 times. Learned a lot through the basketball experience about going through adversity as a basketball player, transitioned out of sports a couple times, helping myself heal, and then playing basketball at a professional level again. So basically building these programs to relaunch 1-0, my optimal performance brand. And then I'll be down here in Houston at the new year as a sports performance mentor at my old high school, Galena Park, North Shore. So still around the game, but seeing the game from a whole perspective, trying to help athletes from a all well-rounded perspective. But at the same time, just always connected with SMU and just the school and just how much they've done for me, 40-year plan, being able to take my life journey and then turn it into something that can help other people is a blessing, and to still be a part of a brotherhood where we can talk about ourselves and talk about our platforms to bring insight to other people. So just thankful for this platform here in Houston, down here with my partner, Jenna, we're really growing together. So just seeing my life turn from just an athlete to now growing up as a man, it's a great opportunity. So glad to share this space with y'all, man, and really just seeing where we can take it. Pony Hoops Insight. Shout out to our recruits that just signed, Jermaine O'Neal Jr.
DJ Ray Davis.
DJ Davis Ray, yep. And
Nigel.
My bad.
Yep. So, man, we got some really good players coming in, continue to add to the brotherhood. So we just want to give them a round of applause to continue to push their mission. But if y'all got anything to say, man, I think this was a great first podcast, and we'll continue to.
So, Jarrey, before, because we had this week before we leave, we had this argument before.
Hey, man, cut him off. He about to say something.
From SMU in the last 10 years, I want to hear what the people got to say, who they think the best scorer in the last 10 years of SMU basketball. And it ain't Nick Moore, ladies and gentlemen. It's one guy that I didn't play with, but I had a chance to see, and he got buckets. I want to know what y'all think.
How many assists he have?
He didn't have very many.
All right, then. Come on, we ain't trying to worry about that, bro. Hey, what we say? Peer scores don't win you no games, but win you games.
That's true. You absolutely right. He was a bucket, so I want to know what y'all think, but he was a bucket.
But no, you already. Hey, I played with this guy Jamal McMurray. I seen him get bucks. He ain't get buck on my guy Nick, but you know what I'm saying.
No, Maul, my man.
Maul pure score, bro.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Jamal McMurray is one of the best I've seen getting buckets.
Hey, y'all go watch that. Y'all go watch that film when we went down there to South Florida. Me and him going at it back and forth. Yeah, he know it. Maul, my man. He know. Maul killer, bro. Maul killer. Everybody know.
That's love, man. Well, we appreciate y'all for joining the first podcast of the Pony Hoops Insight. First episode. I got Nick Moore, Shawn Williams. I'm Jarrey Foster. And we'll be bringing y'all insight throughout the season, in the off season as much as we can, and really just kind of just growing this platform. So shout out to everybody that made this happen. We'll see you all again next week. And we'll be breaking down the Prairie View game and then the Mississippi State Bulldogs game. So looking forward to another week of basketball, fellas, and we'll be tapping in.
Yeah, good luck, ponies.
That's a bet. I'll holler at y'all.